What is going on, y'all? This is the Caveman. I'm here with Football with Oz Austin for episode 73 of Against the Blitz. We are doing a weekly recap this time around because there was a ton of substance in week 10, and we're coming fresh off of a Monday night game that left a lot of people speechless by the end of it. Just bad football. Like, the Packers and the Eagles are supposed to be pure prime time excitement. And it was the complete opposite. The defensive gurus, I'm sure, loved it, but this was just a miserable game. But before we get into it, of course, make sure you join the Discord where AJ Brown and Devontae Smith themselves exist currently in the Discord. Yeah. In the game, Devontae Smith caught a pass for a touchdown and then sent a message in the Discord chat.
Sweet of him, yeah.
Very nice. So definitely, if you want to talk to those guys, link is in the description. But Austin, what the hell was Nick Sirianni fucking doing?
Snooze fest. I'll tell you, the only people sleeping good are the Seahawks and the Rams tonight. Watching the two allegedly most powerful specimens in the NFC, both look like straight up bad football teams. Like, that was ugly. It was a game where no one had control for like 3.5 quarters. The Eagles finally got a lead and control the game. And then they tried their very damnedest to give it away, throwing for it on 4th down when they could have just punted and, basically pinned the Packers down into their own territory. They threw a go route on 4th down with like, what? How many seconds were left? Like 30, 25?
Yeah, about that.
Like, to give them a chance to go throw it into field goal range, and they almost did. They were like 4 yards shy of field goal range, and that would have been completely on Sirianni.
That was the definition of intrusive thought to winning. Like, if I'm a Madden player and I'm in that position, I'm thinking to myself, I want to go for this so bad, but I know I can't. But there's that little voice in the back of my head trying to push me to do it. And somehow, some way, in this game where 10 points were scored by Philadelphia, that's the one that Sirianni decided to let that little voice win. It was almost like he was trying to pull the Dan Campbell stunt, but at the worst time possible. Like, it was like he was trying to prove something by going for that, but I don't know what.
I think they just really wanted to end the game on offense. Like, they struggled there all game long. They didn't really generate a lot of offense for 4 straight quarters, and I think they wanted just to win the game that way instead of punting and leaving it in their defense's hands. But I trusted the Eagles' defense a lot more than I trust the offense. After 3 quarters and a half of that, yeah, I don't love a go route of all things. I would rather, I don't know any other route that's 12, 15 yards downfield, maybe not a 40-yard bomb in double coverage.
Yeah, it just felt like, I don't know. Maybe if they had, like you said, a better call there, like if for some reason they had something prepped up for that specific situation, but they clearly didn't. That was just your average blitz beating answer from Philadelphia that they tried, and it just didn't work. They're lucky to escape this game without potentially blundering big time, because the Packers almost got close enough in field goal range, but it was just on the brink of McManus's range healthy, and that man is A, not healthy, and B, kicking with probably the lowest confidence he's had in his career. And that attempt was atrocious. I mean, it wasn't his fault. The snap was bad, and I think it threw the timing off. But, oh, my God, like, that ball went soaring toward the sideline. It was sad, really.
Well, his practice kick wasn't bad.
No.
His practice kick wasn't that far off. That's why I was like, oh, shit. He got that one out of the way. Like, he might be able to hit this. And then it was just shitty execution on other people's part that fucked him up. But I feel like he could have got it.
Yeah, the first one scared me. Like, LaFleur took McManus off the field after missing that first one, and then threw Love back out there. And I'm like, if anything, I would feel more confident after seeing it be as accurate and go as far as it did. And obviously nothing came of the one more Jordan Love appearance. But yeah, I mean, I was scared. I was rooting for the Eagles the whole way through for a number of reasons. and fantasy purposes, betting purposes, etc. So I'm sitting there shitting myself after I see McManus miss the crossbar by 6 inches. And yeah, I don't know. But outside of the final minute of chaos, this was just a bad game. And I think from the perspective of football fans that are not Packers or Eagles fans, we kind of all, I think, have agreed on what Jalen Hurts is. I think we, as a NFL community, for the most part, I should say, we know what to expect from Hurts. So when a performance like this comes along, I feel like the bashing and the commentary isn't as loud as it would have been like maybe last year, because now we're all like, you know what, this is Hurts. He has these stinkers. It is what it is. But now it's Jordan Love on the other side of the ball, and that's where I have been, and I will be directing my attention again, because it was a fantastic effort on the Eagles' defense's part, but there were a number of occasions throughout the game that the broadcast even highlighted consistently where Love was not being patient in the pocket. He was getting anxious. He wasn't keeping his eyes downfield when he was climbing the pocket, and he was missing guys open. And even on the Christian Watson deep shot that they took on that last drive, they pointed out that if the ball was potentially out more toward the sideline, there could have been a chance, but he misses that one too. There really was not many highlights from Love. Just an unfinished product, he looks like, somehow.
Yeah, like we've had that argument plenty of times about like, when is a quarterback developed? Like, is he still in his baby rookie stage trying to still develop and get better? I hope so, because there's still a lot of room to grow. Like you said, all of it mentally. I think physically he's easily one of the most capable quarterbacks in the league of making any crazy throw, making any crazy play. But like you said, the execution is just so far off sometimes. Like, even the most simple downfield throws, which are supposed to be like his bread and butter, arm strength and release, is get the ball out downfield, and it's shaky. It's just not. It's not championship caliber quarterback play still, and we've said that every single week that they've played, but still they're being held back. It kind of feels like by their offense and, most importantly, their quarterback play.
And it's only gotten and going to get worse. This was the first game that they were without Tucker Kraft, who has obviously become kind of the engine to this whole operation. And this is the first full game without him. And it really was Jacobs or bust. Like, they were occasionally hitting some passes, 10 plus yards downfield, but they were far and few between. I mean, I think I'm trying to find it now, but yeah, Jordan Love in the first half was 6 for 10 for 39 yards, 0 touchdowns, of course, and 2 fumbles with 1 lost. It just was it's so training wheels-esque. Like, LaFleur is doing everything he can to not let Love drop back and take a sack or, make a bad throw. And I feel like this is one of those games where you're hoping your supposed traitsy elite quarterback can, make a play or two, make a throw or two under pressure. And it just didn't happen. And it hasn't really happened this season at all. I feel like it happened more when he was younger than it really has at this point.
Yeah. It felt like that reckless style of play that he used to play with was bad. Like, he turned the ball over a lot, but he also, made a lot of really cool plays in the process. But now I think it almost feels like he's overthinking it, and he's not as confident as he once was. He's trying to be more quarterbacky, maybe a little bit less gunslingery, and it's just not who he is. And I appreciate that he's trying to develop that part of his game and execute the quick game, execute the intermediate game, but it just doesn't look good yet. And right now, with how their roster is built, with how much they gave to Micah Parsons, you'd like it to be there, like, now, because this is the best window you're going to get.
100%. Yeah, I think you're right too. It's like Love, when he's when he's playing with that gunslinger mentality, there is more moxie to it. And I think on that other hand too, he's another quarterback that I think has to find some sort of rhythm. And that's only going to come with volume. And if he's not getting that volume and he's just getting, one pass per series or one pass per set of downs, and, it might be completed, it might not. He's just not able to find some sort of fluid flow. It's almost like a hot hand with a running back. It's like they say that the best running backs are the ones that get those 20 to 22 plus carry games because they're feeling the ball a lot. They're feeling good. It just is a confidence thing. You get a feel for the game, the whole 9 yards. It's the same thing for quarterbacks like Love, where he needs to find some sort of pattern in his game where he's hitting the top of his drop balls, getting out, or he's making a throw or two that he feels good with. But he just doesn't get those opportunities. And at this point, I don't blame Matt LaFleur because I personally don't trust him, but I do think, on the other hand, too, this isn't going to improve either unless you kind of let loose a little more. So it's a double-edged sword.
It is, but God, at this point, you really want to see a different version of the quarterback when they've played for 3 years in a row now. I know he's missed some time in between, but this is his third year of starting, is it not? Like, you'd like to see some kind of development. We've talked about that plenty of times with guys like Trevor Lawrence and Kyler Murray, where they're kind of the same quarterback today that they were when they got their first snaps in the NFL. And it feels like Jordan Love's along a similar breed where, like, it doesn't feel like he's manipulating safeties any more than he was as a first-year starter. He's not making any different reads than he was as a first-year starter. It's still very much a work in progress.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really the story of this game. I think the Eagles, kind of like I was saying earlier, this was a very on-brand performance from them. So I didn't have too many takeaways other than, Devontae Smith is still one of the best deep ball go-getters in the league, despite being 150 pounds. So that's about my only takeaway. And Lane Johnson for going to the locker room and getting shot up and then finishing that game out.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, he's gutsy. It's hard to have more takeaways from a game when it's two high-powered teams and the score is like 10. Like the team scored 10 points. Like it's hard to have any takeaways out from that outside of just the quarterback play wasn't great.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of other takeaways from a lot of the other games we're going to cover. Per usual, we're not going to get to every single game because that would just take too long, and we've learned the lesson the hard way.
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
We're going through the games we felt fit the bill, and we'll rewind back to the London game, or were they in Germany?
They were in Germany. Yes.
They were Falcons, in Germany. Colts. This game,
God.
I'm awake at 9 a.m., fresh off of a good night's sleep, ready to watch my $450 fab running back and Bijan Robinson go crazy for my guillotine team. And that by Tyler Algier, the most hated player in football. I'm sure he's a great guy, but my God, I don't think a single human has ever pissed off other humans more than Tyler Algier has
it's
or
him
does.
And Charbonnet.
Oh my God.
They're the same font of running back where it's just probably very likable, does all the small things correctly, but just he steals everything. He's a burglar. He's a fantasy burglar. But yeah, I mean, he looked good. Tyler Algier looked genuinely really good, and he almost sealed the game for him.
Mm-hmm.
With that late touchdown, the late big run, and then the late touchdown that could have sealed it in a lot of scenarios if it wasn't for the resilience of a bleeding Daniel Jones.
Yes, that picture is not getting. I thought that picture was going to get tossed around with some pretty crazy quotes and comments, but I haven't seen it too much. He didn't play great. That probably didn't help, but.
No, he didn't play great, but that's the thing that I liked is something that I had an issue with like Jordan Love is when they they're going to struggle. It happens. You're like every team has struggled when they played in Europe. It's been a thing. I mean, even Penix struggled even worse, but the resilience was huge. And that's what I really like to see is like someone like Daniel Jones. You can't find a quarterback that's been beat up physically and mentally more than Daniel Jones in the last half decade. And he comes in, he had his confidence shaken last week. He doesn't start off great this week, but then he catches fire. He makes a couple really good clutch late throws, takes a bunch of big hits, keeps on coming, keeps on throwing, keeps on running, and they win the game. And that late ball to Tyler Warren down the sideline to get them down to scoring range was a beautiful football throw, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of little Daniel Jones for sticking in there and just sucking it up.
Yeah, he also had a key big run I think late in the game too, maybe at the top of the fourth quarter. I can't remember when it was, but the Falcons had them backed up pretty far. And I remember escaped the pocket. He ran for like 17 or 18 yards and made it a manageable first down. So, yeah, in a game where he didn't look his best, once again, some ball security problems, the resilience is a very good word to describe his game. So, credit to him. And that's kind of also a good segue into why the Colts are still a very scary football team, even without a quarterback that doesn't strike fear, because they are still finding ways to win games despite the ball hitting the ground 4 times. Jonathan Taylor, of course, is the story of this one. He is taking the NFL by storm. Another late touchdown run that just shouldn't be possible, but he just breaks free from everybody and he seals the deal. Like, legitimate MVP candidate. I think even Barkley was last year, which I never thought I'd be able to say, but
like comfortably to me.
Comfortably.
He has those yards, but he also has 15 touchdowns. Like 17 total. Like and this is the kind of guy that you can look to him and say, like, he's carried by a supporting cast. The offensive line's good. It's a good line, but it's not the kind of line that, like, you point to and say they're carrying Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he ran for 244 and 3 touchdowns. That's stupid. And, like, very efficiently. He had 7.6 yards a carry.
Yep.
And on that last drive, they didn't even throw the ball. I think they threw one pass, Tyler Warren, and then ran it from there all the way down their face. And it wasn't like they were wide open. He was making guys miss behind the line, making them miss in the second level. He was just unstoppable. It was unconscious football. And it was just great games all around. Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren, those two also had great football games. Both blocked their asses off. Both made some crazy catches in really big moments. It was just a gritty ass football game where things were not going their way. Like, they were the better team clearly all game, but couldn't capitalize. And then they finally stuck it out.
Yeah, it was another gutsy, the perfect way to describe this game was gutsy, to bring that word back up for Indianapolis. But the story for me also is very wide open for Atlanta, because this is a team that I feel like time and time again has struggled to pounce on opportunities. I mean, I said it already. The Colts fumbled 4 times in this game. Atlanta recovered just 1, and they don't score on that ensuing drive. They didn't use their timeouts on that 3rd and 10 right before half. The Colts offense was backed up. There was like a minute left in the half. The Falcons should have called a timeout. Anybody with a brain would have called a timeout to save some clock in case, they make a stop. And they do, but by the time that Daniel Jones throws the ball, Jesse Bates picks it off, or Watts picks it off, there's only like 20 seconds left in the half. And all of a sudden the Falcons aren't able to march the field to potentially get more points. So that doesn't go their way. And then, the Falcons contained Jonathan Taylor for as long as they really could in terms of keeping points off the board. And they just could never pull away. Michael Penix is just such a weird quarterback, and another guy that is just streaky, but for him, it's a lot less of it being hot. It's so much more cold. Like, Darnell Mooney was on the verge of like crashing out toward the end of that game. That poor guy. He had a bad drop, but then he just kept getting missed time and time again. Penix threw him a corner route or an out route, and Mooney caught it like outside of the thick white line. Like it was that bad of a throw.
Yeah, he was like by the bench, like
Yes.
almost on the bench when he caught it.
Like,
Like he
what are
is
we doing? 12 for 28 for 177. Like this guy couldn't hit the broadside of a fucking barn.
no. I mean, he threw one good ball to Drake London where he was being guarded by Jermaine Pratt, and then and it was just like a simple little touch ball. It wasn't nothing crazy, and then just was throwing fireballs at people all game long that were completely uncatchable. Like it's like there's one speed with that guy, and it's just rocket with no touch. Doesn't matter how contested you are, he's throwing it at the back of the DB's head. It's hitting it. It's just there's not a lot of finesse to that guy's game right now. It's just drop back with a weird catapult form and just sling it as hard as you can. And I know he's a better athlete than he acts like he is. He doesn't really run. He doesn't scramble well. He just drops back and lets it rip, but it's not a good rip at all.
No, he's given how tall he is and the big arm, you would think he'd be better in the pocket, especially since he isn't necessarily, like you said, the most athletic or the most mobile guy, but he's not that. He doesn't move very well. So it's like, well, what does Michael Penix do? Well, I don't know. I'm kind of starting to really wonder
he
what.
Throws it hard as shit, and he
Yeah.
has Drake London, who makes him look great.
Like, do you know that? Have you seen on TikTok or like, I don't know, Twitter, that robot that runs like very static and then will just like
Yes.
sprint straight? That's what
He wears
Penix
like an
reminds
orange
me of.
shirt and it runs down the hill. Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
what I envision when I see Michael Penix like moving. It's just that like stick,
But he's
like robot.
but I feel like he's not. Like I feel like he has athleticism, but he like it's the same thing they had with Stroud that one time when everyone kept saying he was a bad athlete and he couldn't run. He actually can. He just doesn't like at all. It's almost worse if that's the case, where you actually can run, but you choose not to.
Well, I have an interesting question for you. Right now, if you had the choice to build around Bo Nix or Michael Penix, who are you choosing?
Bo Nix for sure.
Yeah.
It's like Bo Nix has the same issue where he misses people pretty bad, and sometimes he throws with only one speed and it's just rocket. But I feel like there's more there, especially athletically. I think he's a much better runner, and he's won a couple games with his legs. And I feel like he's doing more with less, in my opinion. Like he doesn't have a crazy running back. He doesn't have Drake London. Hell, he doesn't even have really like Kyle Pitts playing tight end. It's Cortland Sutton, who's kind of disappeared, and Troy Franklin, who can't catch anything. Like, and he's still being productive. I think I have my own issues with Bo Nix, but he's at least given me something where I'm like, yeah, he's struggling, but I see kind of where this could be in a year or two. But with Penix, it's just he has so much, even mechanically, that he has to work on, and then it's other stuff. But the footwork is atrocious. Not even just him being a lefty. I do hate lefties. It's worse, even if you put him as a righty. Like the feet are so bad, and that's why he's so inaccurate. There's a lot to work on.
Yeah, the whole for both Nix and Penix, the weird part is like, at least as far as I know, the allure to them was, being older and potentially more pro ready. But especially Penix, like I feel like there isn't a guy that's further from that at all. Like, isn't Penix, how old is Penix now?
He's probably 25, 26.
Yeah, he is. He's 25. So
he's younger than Chuck still. That's good.
Yes, he is. But fuck me, man. Like, there's just zero. There really is, like, in the nicest way possible, zero that I look at Michael Penix and think, man, I want to proceed with my football team as, with him as my quarterback. There's just nothing.
I mean, looking back at it though, his receiving core at Washington was just disgusting. He had 2 starting tackles as his left and right tackle, and then he had 4 receivers on that football team that are going to be drafted in the first 3 rounds. He had Romo Dunze, Jalen McMillan, who's talented when healthy. He had Jalen Polk, who sucks, but He also hasn't played. And then Jeremy Bernard was on that team, who's probably going to be like a second-round pick this year. And Denzel Boston, who might be a first-round pick this year at Washington. Like,
Wow.
That was the most stacked passing offense possible, and it made him look great. But I am kind of afraid that the Indiana version of Michael Penix is kind of what we're seeing, not the Washington version.
Yeah. We heard, going back to Stroud for a second, all of that, like, pro ready stuff, or he played in a pro level offense in college, and it kind of elevated him. That seems like that's more so what the case is with Penix than anything else. Is just he was playing with legitimate NFL players against like math students every week, and it probably does help make you look a little better. But the last point on this game I wanted to make was how the refs could not figure it the fuck out at the end of it. Did you see that debacle? Like,
with what?
The refs at the end of the game could not figure out the fact that with 11 seconds left, the Falcons took a penalty. And they couldn't put 10-second runoff and no timeout together. And it took them like what felt like 3 long minutes to figure that out. And then by the time they do, we get to overtime and they get the coin toss wrong. We went to break thinking I think the Falcons got the ball, and then they didn't. And all of a sudden the Colts have it, or vice versa. It's like, what the hell was going on with the fucking refs at the end of that game? It was like rocket science.
Yeah, they do that, especially in this Packers-Eagles game. It was really horrifically bad to start the game off. But yeah, I mean, I don't know of what kind of refs they're using in Germany. I don't know if they brought some soccer refs in, but yeah, it wasn't. I don't recall much of that, but sounds terrible. I was just crashing out over that game, to be honest. I was just going insane. It was awesome. I wanted the Colts to win. Like, that was great. But yeah, I was just in awe.
Yeah, I also was crashing out heavily throughout that entire game. And speaking of crashing out, I nearly popped a fucking blood vessel watching Davis Mills and Nick Chubb march the field with 26 unanswered points to beat the sorry ass fucking Jaguars. I hate the Jaguars. Talking about a team I hate the Jaguars. I'm out. I'm so over everything that is going on over there except for Travis Hunter. I'm done. I cannot stand that fucking organization right now.
Trevor Lawrence, I don't think I hate a man more. And not anything personally. It's just like he was blessed by the football gods to be something special. Like 6'6", very athletic, cannon of an arm, a cool, calm, collected personality. He went to a really shitty team with Urban Meyer and no weapons. So he had all the excuses in the world to start slow and develop. And he finally gets a good situation, and he plays like his worst football ever. I hate him.
It just is so puzzling watching a team that is, to me, if the Jaguars were like a regular citizen, if they were like an individual human being, they're like the single uncle that has no kids, that is just like always late or just like no shows to family functions, that you just
one of those.
you just like cannot trust with anything. They're clumsy. You would never ask him to watch like your 5 and 6 year old. You would never put them in the care of that man. And that's how I feel with Jackson.
But I love the guy.
No, I fucking hate him. I hate him. I don't want him in my house. You cannot trust this team in any big moment. Even the games that have went well, like the Chiefs game, Lawrence fell on the ground and Chris Jones stopped playing football because he thought he was like sacked. And then he ran in for a touchdown. Like that's how they win games. Like, and then we have the Browns or the Bengals game at the start of the year. They couldn't take advantage of fucking Jake Browning. It took a batted pass in overtime on a 2-point conversion to beat the Raiders. Like, you give up 26 unanswered to Davis Mills. You could not ever in a million years tell me right now that the Jaguars' defensive front would only convert 26 pressures into 2 sacks against Davis Mills behind that offensive line. What are they doing? Are they just running toward the quarterback and then stopping? Like, I didn't see
I
every
don't know.
snap, but what the fuck?
I have no idea because the freaking Texans figured it out. I mean, Danielle Hunter had 4 sacks. like I don't understand what the problem there was for Jacksonville, but yeah, they've just been playing so fraudulent the last couple of weeks. It's been bad, and the Texans have kind of been the opposite. Like, I feel like they've been playing good ball and they're just going through hell to win these football games. I mean, they don't even have their quarterback, and Davis Mills looks like the best player on that football field compared to Trevor Lawrence. Like, they look like they were both drafted within 1 pick of each other. Like, that's how bad Trevor Lawrence's development has been. Like, he has the crazy throws. That first touchdown to Parker Washington was outstanding.
Oh my God.
It was a beautiful throw. And then everything in between, the turnovers, like the sacks that he takes, they're moronic. It's like he makes beautiful things happen, but he also makes really stupid things happen. He's running out of excuses. He's running out of time.
Yes. He has the pocket awareness of like a beetle. Like, this guy will just stand there and wait until something comes down to crush him. Like, no ability to understand his surroundings or the pressure or anything. And it's just weird to me because some games it looks like it's better and he's escaping the pocket and he's trying to use his legs and be a little bit more mobile. But in this game, if I'm not mistaken, I felt like that wasn't the case. Like, the second that there was pressure coming in, he just kind of took it. Like, no care in the world to try and extend it. I want to see if I can pull up the rushing stats. He had 5 attempts for 35 yards. I guess in a game where those guys are coming after you, I would like to think that someone like Trevor could maybe do more with his legs, especially considering that the guys downfield he's passing to aren't his regular receivers. Like, if similar to Jordan Love, I'm going to put him near the top 10 quarterback conversation. At least 1 or 2 drives near the end of the game need to be those, like, wow, he really elevated that unit type of drives. And it didn't happen. And it really doesn't ever with this guy anymore.
He's on Kyler Murray level right now. It's just highly capable and talented quarterback that hasn't really gotten better since they came into the league. And it's just frustrating. It's so frustrating when they pay him so much money and he just never gets better after that. And they have so many high expectations this offseason, and he's still the exact same quarterback as he was when the situation was bad. Like, and his receivers have not been helping him. I'll give him that. I mean, he had 24 drops going into last game. I don't know how many he had this game, but yeah, it's not been good to help him, but God, he hasn't helped them out either.
No, yeah, it's just a mess, like, across the board. And revisiting the defense too. Like I said, in this game, they had 26 pressures and only sacked Davis Mills twice. On the season, this stat blew my mind when I found it. The Jaguars through 9 games have just 12 total sacks, ranking dead last. Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker, and Eric Armstead are the 6th most expensive defensive line, make up the 6th most expensive defensive line in football. All 3 were top 10 picks at one point in time. And Calais Campbell, at the age of 40, has more sacks than Hines-Allen and Walker combined. Like,
good Lord.
I mean, what is happening? What is happening? And this was one of my biggest concerns when I was kind of projecting their season out, was what will be different with this defense, even if things click with Lawrence, Hunter, and BTJ. Like, what about the defense? What is going to change? And they were playing decent football toward the start of the year, but now their lacking ability to get the quarterback on the ground is starting to really bite them in the ass, especially in this one. So the Jags are just, I don't even want to say they're on fraud watch, because I think we all know they are already frauds. So
yeah, they are. But They're still winning games. Like, they didn't win this game, but they still have very much potential to be a playoff football team, and I just not seeing it.
No, I'm not either. I think at this point, what are they, like 5-4 now?
I think so.
They'd
4,
be
5, and
lucky
5.
to make the playoffs.
I think
Very, very
Texans
lucky.
are getting their ass here soon. The Colts have that division on lockdown right now.
Mm.
Titans are stupid, but
Texans just need Stroud back. I think Stroud wins that game against the Broncos last week. They won this week. That would give them a 2-game win streak. So
we're good.
They're starting to turn it around a little bit.
We got Davis Allen. We're good.
Yeah, really. We don't need.
We got we got Davey franchise. We're good.
Well, oh man. Speaking of continuing, actually, I didn't crash out in this game. I sat there and I kind of this is gonna sound very sick and twisted, but enjoyed to some evil extent watching things go up in flames in Buffalo over things that we have bitched about for months. And the only reason I say enjoyed is because for us Bills fans, we know what Brandon being conjured before the season by bitching on the radio. And now here we are in week 10. The offense cannot move the football, period. It's not even just through the air. It's just now they really just can't move it at all. And there's no one to throw to, and they got no one at the deadline. It's a dumpster fire. So I really felt nothing at all. I wasn't watching the Bills get their ass kicked and crying or throwing things. I was just like, yeah, this kind of feels like it was coming.
Yeah. But like, I think to me, it wasn't just like it was a loss to the Chiefs or a loss to the Texans. It was a loss to the Dolphins, who have been the epitome of a dumpster fire this entire season. And they let Devon Achane really do whatever he wanted. They couldn't capitalize on 2 Tua interceptions, on a really a lack of passing game altogether. I mean, it was just the Achane explosive runs and their own severe lack of offense that really did it.
Yeah, it feels like there's just a lid on the Bills' offense at all times. And our trade deadline episode, we talked about Rashid Shaheed and even Jacoby Myers. Like, these guys aren't tier 1 talent receivers by any means, but at least for Buffalo's case, a guy like Shaheed in the skill set would have helped out just as much as potentially a top wide receiver one would have, because there's just no one like him in the room. He goes for a 4th and a 6 to Seattle, and then we sit back and we're like, man, I would have paid the 3rd round pick that they wanted for him. Like, at this point, why not?
Okay.
Fuck it. And now we're here. Like I said, there's a cap on this offense. We're not pushing it downfield. Josh Allen is indecisive. Joe Brady is predictable. Allen had a time to throw of 3.5 seconds, a little over 3.5 seconds, as he ran in circles in the pocket for literally forever just to complete a pass. And it was the longest of his career post 2018.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just a disaster. Like, it felt like week 10, there was so much karma that just struck Buffalo. I made a video about it because my tinfoil hat was on, and I'm like, the football gods really wanted to punish Brandon Beane for not doing anything, because not only does Chris Olave go and score, someone that was heavily rumored to be a potential Buffalo Bill, he has his first 100-yard game. He scores. He has a one-handed catch. And then the Patriots pretty much clinched the division with a Stephon Diggs sick touchdown catch. Matt Collins has 2 monster catches. And then Jalen Waddle, the receiver that we were supposedly close to getting, dunks on our 1st-round pick. And the cherry on top was Dalton Kincaid getting hurt, who was really our only downfield passing option at all. So it just really felt like the football gods were rubbing it in extra, extra hard in week 10.
Yeah. I mean, it's deserved for Mr. Bean. I mean, to be so arrogant at this team that you built and say, no, this is a championship level team when they've been overperforming with it. And I think we've talked about that a couple times where it's just like, it's Josh Allen carrying a team that is really just a wild card team that they're just finding incredible success with in what was a weaker division as well, with the Patriots struggling and the Jets being the Jets. It was the Dolphins and it was the Bills, and that was it. But now the Patriots are up, and they're very, very up. And the Bills, outside of quarterback play, don't look like they are close to the Patriots right now, which is crazy to me. And the quarterback play has actually been really close because of how good Drake May has been this season. So it's scary. And then to not make any kind of move at the deadline, then look at the state of your roster and say that that's fine. We're going to go into the possible playoffs like this is pretty nuts.
Yeah. I'm usually a defender of McDermott and his defense, but between injuries and just the inability to stop the run, this was just it's just hard not to point out that this was yet another game where a running back has a career day. Like Devon Achane had 195 yards after contact against Buffalo, which was the most by any Dolphins player since 2018, and he forced a career high 11 missed tackles. Like, we just saw Bijan pull our pants down a couple of weeks ago, and then we got to go and deal with this all over again. So there's just nothing. There's just nothing to be optimistic about, quite frankly. Like, if Chicken Little was a Bills fan, he would be yelling the sky is falling, and he would be right. He'd be 2 for 2.
I mean, who do they have inside defending the run right now that's like a true gap eater?
No one.
Nobody. Like Jordan Phillips, Deion Walker, both of those guys are not set anchor gap eaters. They're just fucking big, but they're not true nose tackles. Like, they don't have a guy on that roster. I mean, they had Poona Ford at one point. It's probably the last time they had a true dig in the ground nose tackle. And the run defense hasn't really been to that standard since.
I feel like I read something that I don't know this for sure, but I think because Daquan Jones, I believe in this game was playing on the edge.
What?
A decent bit. I think. Let me see if I can pull up the.
I know he's been playing more of like
count.
a 3-tech penetration style role as opposed to like a usual just straight up gap role, but that's pretty crazy to play a guy that's like he's like 310.
I find where he lined up, please. Doesn't PFF tell you where they line up?
It should.
Oh wait, let me go to his snapshot position.
All right. Yeah, he's 320.
He lined up. Wait.
That's insane.
Maybe oh no, okay. Yeah, he lined up. What is out? Just so I'm quoting this correctly. Number of players, snaps lined up on the D line outside the offensive tackle. Daquan Jones had 13 snaps from that alignment in this game. So, yeah.
It's like as many run defending snaps that Deion Walker had all game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So,
you know what's kind of cool, though?
I
was looking at the PFF grades. Cole Bishop is your best player now.
Out of nowhere.
He's unbelievable.
It just, like, something clicked overnight. I don't know how, where.
I mean, he was a good prospect. It wasn't like he's just like a bad football player forever.
Yeah.
Like he struggled till he was like 23 and then became good. That's pretty normal to happen, honestly. But yeah, he looks outstanding.
He does. Like, it just is weird. Like the how dramatic it was. It went from like just bad to good overnight.
He's confident. He's aggressive. Like he like it looks like you put Poyer on there and painted him white.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the only thing that we can definitively point to that has changed for Bishop from the start of the season until now is Jordan Poyer. And I mean, I don't know how he's contributing to that, but there's legitimately nothing else going on around the Bills secondary or on the Bills defense that I can notice from the outside and say that's why this is happening. So I guess
Sure.
my broad conclusion is maybe Jordan Poyer is somehow helping him feel more free. I don't know. But you're right. That is the one bright spot right now is Cole Bishop, who we all, including myself, wanted kind of dead for a while.
Who would have thought? It's not the offense. It's not Joe Brady. Joe Brady might not be getting those head coaching jobs anymore. But you might be able to bring back Brian Daboll.
That is a good question because following the Bears-Giants game, Brian Daboll did get fired earlier this morning, and I personally was shocked. I didn't think they were going to do it, but it definitely was time. We've talked about it for the last few weeks now, how unhinged Brian Daboll has become. He's literally been acting like someone in an apocalypse, like doing anything he can to survive by any means necessary. And I was listening to Stay Hot earlier, and Theo made the craziest analogy. He said, the perception is that Daboll and Dart have a healthy and very cool, very fun relationship. But in all reality, all that's happening is it's a toxic relationship where Daboll is just using Dart for his body. He's just taking advantage of Dart for his body. And that is legitimately what was going on.
He's love bombing him. He's making him feel like he has worth. And then he's just pounding him into the ground to save his job. Like a quarterback design run is a very efficient style of offense that works really, really well. And teams would do it more if it didn't absolutely destroy your quarterback. And he does not care. Dart leads all quarterbacks in design runs since he's been in, a starter in the NFL. And that's crazy to me because he's definitely not the most worthy of being the heavy design run guy. He's good at it, but Lamar, Fields, Josh Allen, these guys are a little bit more worthy of it, but their teams can't afford to get them hurt. And Dart doesn't give a shit what happens because he knows Dart's going to play through injury and tough it out. And he's just going to pound him into the ground behind a very subpar offensive line. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it is insane. Dart, I found this stat too. Dart took 77 hits in 7 starts and was evaluated for a concussion 4 times this year. That is malpractice. No wonder why he's now out with concussion.
They're not even sacks. It's one thing if you're just getting sacked because your offensive line is bad, you're holding on to the ball too long. It's another thing if you're just, running QB powers with him and he's getting crushed. Part of it's on Dart too for not sliding, not getting down, trying to truck people. But at the same time, I don't think his quarterback's in his ear, or I don't think his coach is in his ear telling him to stop doing that. I think he's fully happy with it. It's winning them games, so keep going ahead and trying to win. Save my job.
Yep.
Because they had this game, what I felt like, pretty handily. And then Dart went down and Russell Wilson played probably the worst play of his career. And the game went to the Bears very fast.
Yeah. It is just, you're right. It is on Dart, but he's a kid. He doesn't care. He has no care in the world for his well-being when he's on that field. And that's just the competitor in him. That's how a lot of players are. And that's the problem, is the fact that Daboll isn't kind of being like, hey, you can't.
Yeah, he took advantage of that. He's trying to impress his pimp.
He legitimately did. It is a very sick, dark, twisted parallel, but honest to God, that is in football terms what happened.
Well, Daboll knew he was getting fired. He had to have known. I'm sure ownership came to him before the game and said, the Bears are very mediocre. If you don't show something in this game, you're gone. And you could kind of see it. I don't know if you've seen there's videos going around of him choking up on the sideline as the time runs out. There's 30 seconds left, and the Bears are kind of took the game. It's kind of over, and Daboll's near tears on the sideline. after yet another huge blown lead that they gave up. And I don't think losing was the problem. I think how they lost was the problem. Running Dart into the ground, taking multiple big hits before he got knocked out of the game. And then he took the massive hit to knock him completely out. And then they blew a huge lead because they have zero offense if Dart's not running the ball. And it's just sad. It was sad for Dart. It's sad for Dayball too. Like, you don't want to see a man lose his job, but yeah, he sacrificed a 22-year-old man to get there. So whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it is like at the end of the day, like Dart is going to be fine. Like he'll
be fine.
It's a little dramatic, but yeah, it is sad for.
Fuck, I mean, CTE is pretty damn real though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like there is
like concussions last a long time. Like it's one thing if it's like a little, he sprained his ankle on a sideline run, whatever. But running a quarterback into the ground, that's a thing. Like the Bills don't even do that shit anymore, really, with Josh. Like, and he's huge. He's the size of a tight end. He can kind of handle it, but Dart's like 6'1". He's like 6'1", like 215, just getting demolished by linebackers and safeties. And he's had to run the ball on design runs more than I've ever seen Josh have to do, which is nuts.
Oh yeah, by far. I mean, poor guy, like, just I mean, there's that's really it. Like, you're right. It is. It's not even just a small injury, as I kind of made it seem. It's a head injury. Like, who knows what this could do long term? Like, you rack up one, then you rack up two, and then all of a sudden you have three, and all of a sudden you're contemplating your career. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Dable. I think in terms of where the Giants stand now, the big controversy is whether or not Shane should have also been fired. And I am not someone that is particular on the stance of like, if one goes, the other has to, or the two have to be, locked key in step or whatever the phrase is. But the Giants have tried this method, I think 3 cycles now, if you will, and it hasn't worked. So now you're going to let, once again, the expiring quote unquote general manager try to find a new head coach just for them to likely realize, okay, wait, this isn't working, and then just fire the GM, bring in a new one. And like, it's just like a never ending loop. Like, when are they just going to kind of bite the bullet and say, you know what, let's just get rid of both of them and then freshly start by the time next season starts? It's just such a weird, like, insanity definition of insanity, really.
It is. I mean, I think the only thing that can save Shane is the fact that Dayball's influence. He's very heavily influenced their draft selections and who they bring in to play on that offense. And I think that they can kind of just point to Dayball for all of their mishaps, for everything. And then Shane can say, well, I got Scatterbo this year. I got Dart. I drafted both those guys, and they're both good. And a lot of the things that he's done this season were good. I mean, they've played a very tough schedule, and they've played some good teams pretty tough. They beat the Eagles. They've had some impressive moments, which is kind of why I'm shocked that now is the time they get rid of Dayball. I think they've had chances to do that in previous seasons. And while they were kind of looking up, they got a couple of guys hurt. They lose a close game to an okay team, and that's when he gets fired. I was kind of shocked about that, but yeah, I think Shane has a lot of fingers to point at a lot of different people, not just himself.
Yeah, that is fair. Like, there's a lot. There have been a lot of breakdowns that have happened for the Giants this season, controllable and not. But from here, I think the only 2 candidates that I think they can come away with in this cycle are Cliff Kingsbury or Clint Kubiak. If you don't get one of those 2 guys, I don't know who is out there that I would feel confident in running this dumpster fire. There's not much. Like, Joe Brady was the next best one, and right now he's got pitchforks at his neck for his current job. So what else is there? I saw someone, I can't remember who, someone on one of the big television networks kicking around the idea of Kevin Stefanski if he got fired. and then he floated over to New York. I'd be interested to see
That'd
Kevin
be interesting.
Stefanski in a different color.
Yeah, I'd like that. Yeah, the whole Joe Brady thing kind of reminds me of Bobby Slowick from like 2 seasons ago,
Yeah, yeah.
where he was like he was like a head coach candidate.
Mhm.
Like Joe Brady could have taken a job this year if he wanted, I really think. And he decided to stay, like how Bobby Slowick did, and then just disaster.
Yep.
It's not full disaster. Like it's not been the worst thing in the world, but just per expectations with that quarterback, tough.
Yeah, that's a good comparison because it kind of is reminiscent of Bobby Slowick, and
Where's he at now?
I don't think anywhere. Honestly,
Just in a brothel.
A brothel. Well, the funny part about that comparison is the thing with Bobby Slowick is that he just wouldn't give up running the ball like on first down, right? I can't
Yeah.
remember if it was first down or what, but he just no matter what would forcibly try to run the ball, and it was just to the tune of like 1.1 yards per carry, and he just would not give it up. And that's kind of Brady.
He's in Miami now. He's their passing game coordinator. He just beat the Bills.
Yeah, he's got ties to Mike McDaniel, right?
I don't know. I don't know who has ties to Mike McDaniel. I feel like he's not senior enough to have a coaching tree yet.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe though. I think they have 49ers ties together.
Yes, I was gonna say they're 49ers guys. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, for the other page of this game, the Bears, the big story here was Caleb Williams. This was probably the most complete game he has played.
Yeah.
As a professional, like there were so many crisp throws in structure, on time, and rhythm, but then when he needed it out of structure, he made it happen. And this is a guy that was let down pretty frequently. Like I think there were 2 drops on 4th down by his receivers. There was a drop on 3rd down. There were a couple. I think he finished with 5 drops in this game. There were a couple other drops outside of those that I mentioned, but he still finished with a 56% success rate, which would lead the NFL over the course of the season for this in-game percentage. So he really did play as well as you could ask him to. And the thing about Caleb Williams is now I'm floating around early top 10 quarterback takes with him. Like, I think he's playing that good of football because I look around the NFL and I see someone in Caleb Williams who is rapidly ascending and developing, who has one of the strongest arms in the league that I think can make really any throw you ask him, and is somehow also like so fast. Like Caleb is so deceivingly fast. This motherfucker is athletic. He can move. And ironically enough, he leads all quarterbacks in missed tackles forced by like 11. Like he's first, second is like behind it by like 9 or 10 or something like that. So he's fast. He's elusive. He can make any throw. There isn't a single trait that's really negative about him outside of like maybe questionable decision making, which is what Ben Johnson is supposed to be for. So
yeah,
like I see we're climbing the top of the roller coaster right now, where for guys like Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, of course, who was previously in this conversation, Jalen Hurts, like all of those guys were kind of, halfway through the roller coaster, and we're kind of going through the loops and the ups and downs. But for Caleb, it's just up right now. And I'm going to get on that. I'm going to get on that before I, get on the end of the ride for some of these other guys. So sure. Caleb, top 10, I'm here.
I don't know if I'm there, but I'm willing to hear it out though. Like maybe not yet, but like I think he's on that right path. Like at least with him that we talked about with Trevor and Love and all them, it's like we've seen Caleb already get drastically better from the first couple weeks of his rookie year to now. It's a fully different quarterback, and that's all you really want to see. Like in their second year, you don't need to see a Hall of Fame generational level quarterback immediately. You just want to see improvement every single year in some kind of path to see eventually a Pro Bowl, all pro level player. And you can see that pathway right now. Like, you can see clearly the things he has to rein in, the things he has to sharpen up, and he's already done a good job of sharpening them up already from last season. So if he can maintain that, he's a really good quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, we could really, if Bo Nix and Michael Penix don't just turn out to be complete like dumpster fires, then that draft class really could end up being one of the best in quite some time. Like May and Caleb are both projecting out to be, the next big pair in this league. And if we could get a couple other solid middle ground starters out of it, like that
Daniels.
class could. And fuck me, I forgot about
Yeah,
Daniels.
I mean, that's the crazy part.
Yeah, shit. He broke his arm.
He might be the best one when he's freaking healthy. Like, it's
right.
Unreal.
For real. Yeah. Holy shit. I knew I was forgetting somebody, but I don't know
Spencer
how
Rattler.
Yes. Oh my God.
Michael Pratt.
Once Spencer Rattler is starting for the Jets next year and he's taking them out of the mud, then yeah.
And by out the mud, I mean a win.
Yes. When he's winning them a football game.
He won them a football game. Okay. They got Mendoza. They're good.
Yeah, they do. Well, maybe not now. They lost the Tank Bowl.
Maybe not now. Yeah.
But yeah, that draft class is looking pretty spick and span. And speaking of Rattler, we'll connect that to Shuck, who took his job. And he won his first professional football game against my favorite team ever, the Carolina Panthers. And not only did I love this for my agenda pushing, but there were a lot of people that took the Panthers in the survivor pool I'm in, and it knocked a lot of people out, and I was here for it. I was loving every second of it. But I have been as pro Rattler as I can get. I've been as anti-Shuck as I can get, but I have to give credit where credit is due. He played a very solid, sound football game.
And he looked the part. It wasn't just results. Like, he actually looked good.
Yeah.
Just a good, solid quarterback. And I think that's going to make it hard come draft time. Where if he strings together a couple more of those, they're like, shit, do we draft a quarterback second overall? Do we draft defense and just build around him? It'll be a conversation. And in the mock draft I did today, I gave him a defensive end. I was like, fuck. I mean, they might really like Shuck. Yeah. Drafted him in the second round. Stick with him. Draft defense. Like, I don't think that's crazy to predict to happen. Like, they might really, really like Shuck and have him for their quarterback of 2026.
Yeah, it's not impossible. We were at this kind of stage for Rattler for a little bit, and all of a sudden it just kind of spiraled. So
yeah, well, he was never good.
All right. Yeah, he was.
All right.
He was. Rattler was playing good ball. And
I think he got once or twice.
He got pushed out because they wanted to see Shuck, and that's fine. But Shuck,
think that they tainted his water.
They did. They're like, we got to find a way to get Shuck in here. Like, Rattler isn't playing great. He's not even our guy, so we got to get our guy in there. So they gave him some bad brownies or something. And
I wish I could have been on that Rattler train. That sounded so fun.
It was, and it still is. Like, it's not over. It's not over. It's not over.
Get benched for Shuck.
Look, if Shuck had been playing terrible right now, I'd feel a little bit worse about it. But the Saints and Shuck put up a plus 4.06 EPA per pass on 3rd and long, which is either 7 yards or longer versus the Panthers, which is apparently the highest single game total by any team since week 3 of 2023 when the Dolphins hung 70 on Denver. So it was a very impressive game, especially down the field for Tyler. The one throw that, of course, sticks out in everybody's mind was the dart over the middle to Devon Vele in traffic. Very decisive throw. Pinpoint. He made one to Juwan Johnson on the move out of structure. That was a nice touchdown. So, yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do to win that game. And if he, like you said, can string a few more of these together, then I think we'll have a serious conversation. But similar to Rattler. We were kind of having a conversation about that for a short time too, and it really just spiraled out of control. So I think we need to see probably until the end of the season a good product to feel that confident in Chuck, at least from our perspective. We know they drafted him, so they're going to give him a lot more grace than the rest of us probably will. But
say Josh Allen got hurt, Trubisky got hurt. You had to pick between Spencer Rattler or Bryce Young to lead your football team to the playoffs. Who are you picking?
Oh, you're setting me up a nice, juicy meatball to knock out of the park right now. Give me Spencer Rattler. I want Bryce Young as far away from one Bills drive as humanly possible. I want Bryce Young loaded into a cannon on a pirate ship and shot as far into the ocean as possible. I don't want anything to do with this poor kid. And it's not even his fault. He's just not good at the sport. And I love finally seeing all of Panthers Twitter being like, man, you know what? Bryce just ain't it. No fucking shit. He hasn't thrown for 200 yards like more than 3 times in his entire career. And all you guys have all done is found some way to manipulate that into a good thing. No, just because
he just finds ways.
He finds ways to win. Oh, he audibled out of a pass and made it seem like that it was a run, and then it tricked the Packers and it won them the game. It's like, what kind of insane delusional world were these guys living in that they were conjuring up these narratives to make it seem like he was good? Finally, it's revealed that, oh wow, Tyler Shuck in his second career start had Bryce Young's like third best career game ever against him to beat him. Like, that's embarrassing. That is flat out embarrassing. And I understand that Jonathan Mingo wasn't a good receiver. I understand Xavier Legette isn't great, but they did just draft McMillan. These are 3 guys that they've drafted in the first 2 rounds since Bryce has been a Carolina Panther. And somehow not a single one has helped him develop at all. In fact, McMillan was supposed to be that downfield threat. And I read today that apparently, wait, it's loading. Bryce Young's yard per attempt average since the Vietnam War ranks 8th at 5.8 yards per attempt. Since the Vietnam War, 8th at 5.8 yards. Like, what the fuck? We throw the ball downfield. Like, at what point are you just like, screw it, McMillan is down there somewhere? Like, use your freak receiver that is supposed to be that for you.
I mean, he has one game this season over 200 yards passing.
Didn't they lose that game?
No, the Cardinals? Won. I don't remember.
They won that game, I think.
Yeah, I think they beat the Cardinals. But yeah, they came back.
Oh, yes. That was the fumble. That was the Amari DiMercato game, no?
I think so.
Or was that?
Might have been. I don't know. But either way, no, that was the Dolphins game, I think.
I don't remember.
I don't know either. But yeah, that's just absolutely insane. Like, the fact that I'm seeing no games over 68% completion percentage, 3 games with more than 1 touchdown, and he threw a pick in all of those games. Like, it's unbelievable. He has so many games that are sub 125 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Multiple, like 3 or 4 of those. That's unbelievable.
It is.
He might be gone faster than people think.
Oh yeah, I wrote down in my notes that this is going to be a difficult decision by year's end for the Panthers.
Yeah.
And I think, given the fact that this is not the general manager or head coach's quarterback, they inherited this bum. I feel like they would be more willing to move off of him than a lot of people might be expecting. Like, it's that bad. Like,
does Trevor Lawrence not scream at Dave Canales quarterback?
Yo, he kind of does.
Imagine that kind of trade.
Kind of does.
That could be interesting. That could be kind of interesting.
It's time the NFL had. There are so many quarterbacks right now that just need to change the scenery so we can really figure out if they just suck or not.
Yes.
We just need like an NBA level, like, he goes there, this guy goes
Yes,
here.
4-team
shake up.
trade. Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young.
Yes.
I'm sure we can find a couple more. Jordan Love,
Anthony
maybe not quite there yet.
Richardson. Throw Richardson in that mix.
Yeah, but he's worth like a penny compared to them even. But still, like I want to see Levis on the move. I want to see a couple guys on the move that are not on the move. But dude, Bryce Young's contract, if at this point, if he gets extended, can't be more than like 18 million a year. Like it can't.
It can't. Like, how would they?
But it will be. He's getting 38 mil a year.
No way. Like, how do you? If you're the Panthers, no. If you're the Panthers right now, how do you approach Bryce in his camp with a contract that you feel is right for your team, but not equally as insulting? Like,
I would just insult him.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. It's
like here, like
you.
I'll give him a graph of the production of every quarterback that gets 50, 40, 30, 20 million a year. And like, look at you, you're at the $2 million per year section right now. We'll give you a bonus. We'll give you 8 million this year. That's it. You get the same amount that you got in your rookie contract. That's just so we don't cut you because you're that bad right now. Like it's really, really bad. Like it's a shocker that the one game Rico Dowdle doesn't put up 30 fantasy points. They score 7 points.
Yep.
Against a team with at the time 1 win. Insane.
It is frankly insane. But another team similar to Buffalo in a way that had this coming. Like, why do you have 5 wins? Who gave this team 5 wins to begin with? And finally they were exposed on national television. I wish that was a primetime game so more people saw it. This should have been the replacement for the Steelers or the Broncos and Raiders game, I should say. So everyone can see that Bryce Young is just poopy stinky. I would have rather watched that than that other disaster.
Yeah. At least for that game, we got to confirm that Bo Nix and Geno are poopy stinky, but
well, this stat is just, it's just crazy to me. Like, literally, hold on, I want to pull it back up because there was more to it. He has, out of quarterbacks with over 1,000 pass attempts since the Vietnam War, he legitimately ranks number 1 in worst career yards per attempt, which is just a mind-boggling statistic. Mind-boggling. Like, what are you doing in the pocket, brother? Please. Like, I can throw for that. This is one of those stats that tells me I could do it. I can play quarterback in the NFL. I will throw for 5 yards per attempt and give you this.
You should try it.
I will happily try it because it's not like he's doing much with it.
I'm going to call Rhett to rush the passer at you.
Go ahead. You call Rhett. I'll throw for, all I need to do is average 5.76 yards per attempt. That's all I got to do. Doesn't matter if it hits the ground. It doesn't matter where it goes. Just got to get it to about 6 yards. You just got to get it down there. Yes.
All right.
I can do it. But what other game do we got here? Bucs Patriots.
I think Bucs Patriots is probably the most anticipated game, I would say, outside of this Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was kind of like a litmus test for the Patriots, because they've had like probably the easiest schedule ever written in the history of football. And they still lost to the Raiders. Like, there were a lot of question marks. So the Buccaneers were the first big test, and they passed pretty well. And the Bucs were hurt. They missed a lot of their guys. They still had no Mike Evans, still no Chris Godwin, still no McMillan, still no Bucky. Like, there were plenty of reasons why the Buccaneers could have won this game if they were healthy, and they probably would have. But the Patriots played it well. And most importantly, Travion Henderson played it well.
This was on track to be a Terrell Jennings game. It was. I think early on he had 3 carries to Henderson's 0 touches. It started off being the Terrell Jennings career game, and then he died. It took, I think God had Travion Henderson on his fantasy team because he just continues to drop every Patriots running back around him to finally give him an opportunity. And lo and behold, he gets to the outside and he's faster than everybody, just like we all knew.
Yeah,
Wow.
twice.
Shocker.
Twice. He runs for 50-plus yard touchdowns twice. And then and Mike Vrabel probably has like a pissed off look on his face on the sideline. Like, whatever.
Literally.
Good luck on the bench next week, bud. Yeah. Like they like we've talked about it a million times, but just to go back and prefer Ramondre's sub 3 yards a carry and a fumble for Henderson's possibly, maybe, even if he had that bad of efficiency, he doesn't. But even if he did, the threat of the big play is so much better than whatever Ramondre gives you.
Mm-hmm.
And without Henderson, the Patriots easily could have lost this game because they had a couple really nice big passes, but overall, the offense kind of struggled to move. They had a couple really big splashes, but they got to 3rd and 10 a lot. They punted a lot. They turned the ball over in the red zone. It wasn't a pretty sight. So for Henderson to come up big and be their best player in their biggest game yet is huge. And I really fear that the coaching staff is just going to be like, yeah, thanks. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, go back to left bench right there.
Yeah, go back to your bench, bud.
But it just popped in my head, like, when you think of Ramondre Stevenson, what do you think of? You think of the fumbles.
Gross.
You think gross. You think low yards per carry. There's no big playability. The receiving skills aren't really there. What do those things sound like to you when you think of another running back that has those traits? You're gonna hate
Najee Harris.
No. You're gonna hate me for this. Think about it.
So say it again.
Low yards per carry, not very efficient. Yep. No really receiving ability. Sure. A fumble problem. No burst, no big playability. What do all of those things sound like? There's one running back that everyone loves that comes to mind that fits that description.
Sounded like Najee.
He is,
and this guy, I don't know.
He's considered top 12.
James Cook.
No. No. Come on, think about it.
Definitely James Cook.
Low yards per carry, no burst, fumbles a lot.
Yes, James Cook.
Kyren Williams. Come on, you knew that. Kyren Williams. That is Ramondre Stevenson. He's just budget Kyren. That I think
he's budget because he's way worse.
No. It's just like Fruit Loops or like it's like Fruit Loops to like fruity.
He's making me pull up stats again. No. How did what did Kyren do yesterday? 5.2 yards.
Another touchdown. Yay.
He scored 2 of them. 73 yards, 14
touchdown
carries.
Merchant.
What was the week before? 114 yards and a touchdown. Jeez. And Tom Brady loves him. Beat that.
That guy clones his dogs.
He is a weirdo, but he knows football a little bit.
He does, yeah. Well, just saying, there's a lot of striking similarities between Ramondre Stevenson and Kyren Williams.
Yes, they're both running backs.
Yes.
Outstanding.
Like, just give it some time. Blake Corum will be taking that backfield over, just like Henderson is going to be soon, or Terrell Jennings.
Kyron's averaging 4.5 this season.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally got to some respectable numbers outside of his touchdown total. All right, I'm going to stop.
Nice, too.
The other...
I'm doing.
What?
How's Blake Corum doing? 5'8", gross.
He's been getting the rock lately. He's been really kind of alternating drives. And it's annoying because he looks like Kyren, and he wears 20.
He's the exact same running back as Kyren.
Yes, he is.
Also not that explosive, not a huge, crazy receiving threat. It's just pretty good.
Well, as far as Drake May's performance went, you kind of already touched on it. Like, the Patriots really struggled to move the ball. And on a down-to-down basis, like, May wasn't that great, I thought, against that defense. But it was just like when they needed it, they needed a big play. That's when May pulled through, and that's what MVP candidates do. Contenders, thank you. Yes, there was the perfectly placed ball to Kyle Williams. There was a play where he eluded a sack and had a quick release to Mac Hollins for a third down conversion. He hit Mac Hollins for a deep third down conversion as well. The perfect throw to Diggs on that 4th and goal. Like it like I said, was not pretty down to down, but he was there when they needed it, and that's all you really need to ask of him. I don't care what his EPA per play is for you, Jordan Love, wiener blowers. It's just as long as he can make plays when he needs it. Yeah, I crossed the line. What time is it?
Okay.
It's about 1 a.m. and the Panthers coming up. Yeah, that was really my biggest takeaway from this one. Henderson, Drake May, and poor Baker, man. I think this team is just so snake bitten by injuries.
It's awful. Like for people to act like it doesn't exist because Igbuka is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have Igbuka on the perimeter getting guarded by Gonzalez. Like it's just not. And he played well. Igbuka did his thing, but it's like they're running out receivers you've never heard of. Like why is Sterling Shepard your go-to guy on third down? Like Tez Johnson played well, but still, like he's not designed to be a high volume route runner at all. But he had to be. Like if they have Mike Evans, Bucky, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, this game does look drastically different. But unfortunately, they didn't, and that's football, and they lost a close one. But I wouldn't be super worried about their like playoff outlook and their team outlook just yet, considering they're missing like 4 of their most important players.
Yeah, agreed. And even Baker too. He's gone, which is crazy. He's gone 3 straight games without a single rush attempt. This past recent last few weeks, and before that he was averaging like 25 plus yards a game. So he did suffer some knee injury a few weeks ago, and then he popped up with an oblique and this week in week 10. So he's not even himself. So it was a big win for New England, but another one that I'm taking with a grain of salt for now, because that is not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's unfortunately a shell of. That
is just their depth chart. That is their backups. But I mean, I'll still give them a good win. It was a good win. Like any win's a good win when you're playing against someone like Baker.
Yeah.
And a pretty solid defense too that they have. But yeah, it was just the offensive star power that we're used to seeing from Tampa was just completely unavailable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't classify this as like a signature win necessarily for Drake.
No, it was good.
It was a good win.
Yeah, it was good to have, and I don't think it gets him any closer to MVP with Jonathan Taylor's like 300 total yards and 3 touchdowns, and Matthew Stafford again doing 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, just another unbelievable surgical performance. So I think MVP is starting to go away a little bit from May, but plenty of time to go catch it.
Yep, for sure. Did you have many thoughts on the Chargers-Steelers game that you wanted to get out?
Just that Rodgers is awful now. It's just catching up. The safety was hilarious. It was just an ugly performance all around, but overall not really. Like it was just the most typical Chargers-Steelers football game you could possibly conjure up in your imagination.
Yep, and I picked the Steelers thinking that they would win that kind of game because they usually do. They love those types of games where the opposing quarterback is just their punching bag and the offense just has to get in field goal range for Boswell. But they only were able to do that twice. He missed once, and that was kind of where it all went downhill. So, yeah, it just was Rodgers not looking too great. He was overshooting everything. He jump hopped and skipped into a safety. Jalen Warden couldn't get much going on the ground, and DK Metcalf was seeing every single double team that he could possibly imagine because there's no one else to throw to. This is exactly the problem.
That's what happens. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not Rowan Wilson's not the guy. Not after that hurdle.
The hurdle, bro. I forgot about the hurdle again. Did you see the clip of Ben Skoranek like walking up the field screaming like, "What the fuck are you jumping for?" Or something like that. No. It was so funny. Oh man, yeah. The poor Justin Herbert though. That guy got absolutely eaten alive. He was getting contorted.
Yeah, I mean their backup right tackle Bobby Hart was out. Like they were resorting to the absolute weeds to find tackles, and that's the actual main reason we don't have expansion teams in the NFL right now is because there are simply not enough linemen currently to play in the NFL. Imagine if we added, 20 more linemen that we needed to get in the NFL, it would not be possible.
No, it
So,
wouldn't.
yeah, the fact that I can't believe Bobby Hart himself already had to be out here playing, and he actually played decent, and now he's out. So they're dealing with one of the worst lines on paper in a while.
The league somehow needs to start funneling these freak athletes that are playing defensive end and D tackle and moving them to the offensive line. Like there are too many good defensive linemen. We need more offensive linemen. We got to start.
There's no reason Deion Walker didn't play tackle, dude. Look at that build. Tell me he's not like. Tell me like what is his path to being a all-pro D tackle versus an all-pro tackle?
Yeah.
Like he has the length, he has the build. He doesn't have the lower body that a nose tackle normally would have to dig into the dirt and not be moved. He's a big, nimble guy with long arms. That's a tackle all the way through. Somebody screwed him up. His tackles make more money than D tackles too. He could have had a huge payday.
I could see it. Like I could literally picture in my mind Deion Walker lining up for a pass blocking rep.
Yeah,
and it makes a lot of sense.
He's DeJuan Jones. They get the same build. There's absolutely no reason. Like that would get him more money. Being Dan Moore makes $20 million a year. Deion Walker, we'd lucky to make that, even if he's decent, even if he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just don't make that money. So somebody screwed him up along the way.
Yes, we need make more offensive linemen. # make more linemen. Offensive.
Fine.
Linemen, yes.
I'll do it.
Find a way because fuck it.
No, I'm gonna go block.
Oh,
I'll be one of those linemen.
Then I'm sending Rhett after you.
I'll go. He's food.
Oh, I'm good with that. That's good.
I am Willie Lampkin. I'm 295.
Yeah, I'm sending that to him. Or he'll take exception and then send like a gym pick. All right, we'll end it there. Week 10 was a doozy. So let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments section below. As always, if you guys enjoyed, Discord is linked in the description. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in episode 74.